Hi, this is Sandra Cho with Pointwealth Capital Management, and today I'm going to be talking about March 2023. Well, March was interesting. Like earlier this year, March was full of news. That said, the indices were actually up. The S&P 500 was up 3.5%. International developed markets like Europe were up 2.5%, as were bonds, and emerging markets were up 3%. The biggest winners was the NASDAQ at 8.5%, and information technology, stocks like IBM, were up 10.5%. The biggest losers, no surprise, were financials, which were down about 9.5% for the month of March. Most of you know about SVB and Signature Bank going under. SVB went under March 10th, and Signature Bank quickly followed March 12th. That said, the S&P 500 is actually up since then, as of the date of this recording, April 4th, about 6.5%, in fact. Now, when Signature and SVB went under, the Fed quickly stepped in and they guaranteed all the deposits, even those deposits that were $250,000 or more. They also created a lending facility for banks so that banks could shore up their deposits. And then there was Credit Suisse. Credit Suisse is a completely different animal, a bank that's been around for 167 years, a much larger bank than SVB or Signature. It started having problems before this banking crisis, but it was exacerbated by what's been happening. As such, it fell into the hands of UBS for a measly $3 billion. With the strong encouragement of the Swiss government. Now, when that happened, AT1 bonds that were issued by Credit Suisse, these special catastrophic bonds that were known as additional tier 1 bonds or COCO bonds or contingent convertible bonds. They were written down to zero, and if you had money invested in them, you lost everything. That said, most retail investors, people like you or me, didn't have direct exposure to them, but maybe had them in fixed income mutual funds. Also, Credit Suisse corporate bonds and structured notes did not take the kind of hit that AT1 bonds did. In other news, China reached a deal with Brazil in order to trade in their own currencies, bypassing the US dollar as their trading currency. This kind of deal has also been reached prior with China and Russia. It's not a huge thing, but it's definitely indicative of the tension between China and the United States. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you during April Pointwealth Perspectives.